Hey guys, I'm standing here amongst our fleet of Clay Paky Sharpy. We just added 37 more to our inventory, so today we're going to go through some quality control on all of them. So I've got everything fired up and I've seen some errors, but first I want to make sure everything's on the same firmware version and that we've reset everything to default. If you don't know how to update firmware, I have another video on just specifically that. So after 65 fixture updates, I'm ready to look at some errors. So if you've never checked errors on a Sharpy before, it's really easy. You just press the right button and it'll display all your errors. This one has a focus sensor error, so we'll explore that as we go through our tech process. Let's see some other ones. So this is a new one for me. It actually doesn't say anything if we press the right arrow key. It's got no errors, but it is displaying a replace the lamp error on the main screen. So let's go ahead and check our information and see where the lamp hours are on this guy. And we are well over. So I will go ahead and take that lamp out, check if this is actually 238 hours or if somebody just replaced the lamp previously and did not reset this counter. Here it looks like we've got a color sensor error. So this guy didn't actually give me any errors, but as I was going through my process, I noticed that the tab on the DMX through was missing. Here again, we've got another focus sensor error. So here we can see this one has a prism error. So I'll actually remove the head covers and I'll examine the prism. As with the other ones with the focus errors and the color wheel errors, I'll remove the head covers and I'll check the sensors and I'll make sure everything is in place and see if it needs to be tightened. So this is one of my favorite problems. If we check the errors, you will see all of the boards offline and board errors and bus errors all the way through. So I'm actually going to have to take this guy apart and check the boards, make sure they're all plugged in, make sure all the buses are connected, and delve deeper into that problem. When you get all these errors, it will move freely and it will not respond to DMX, and you'll be lucky if it even lamps on. So normally as a rule, I won't do more than 12 fixtures at a time because I want to make sure my attention is on each fixture, making sure it's doing what it's supposed to do and that I'm identifying any errors that pop up. But that wouldn't be any fun. So we're going to turn them all on. Moment of truth. Let's see if we blow up the building. That's a lot of lamps. That's a lot of lamps. And some of them are definitely different. Some of them are yellow, some of them are off. Like, this one looks gross. Woo. But he says just color sensor, so that's probably what that is. I think that's what he is too. So behind me, I have 3 fixtures per circuit. All of them are at DMX address of 1, just to make my life easy. This part of the test is pretty crucial. Right now I have the effects wheel in and it's going to go max both clockwise and counterclockwise. And then it's actually going to tilt the head back and forth and move the effects wheel position from maximum to minimum in order to check the motors and see if any get stuck. That is a very common problem with the Sharpies, and that's a problem I run into constantly here. So that's something I'm trying to catch and make sure that everything is greased and powered and plugged in properly. So this one's looking pretty yellow. We're gonna pop the covers off and inspect the color sensor because this is giving us a color sensor error actually. can see right here that the color wheel is not even attached. Not even close. See, that's supposed to be on right there. And that's going to be the source of our color errors. So touching back on some of those issues, the lamp, we just needed to reset the counter. The lamp looked just fine when I lamped it up and shown it on the cyc. The color issues, I reseated the wheels. One of them wasn't going in quite correctly, so I'm going to rip that one apart, make sure it's seated correctly, and I'll retech that once I'm done. I had one with a prism issue, which after I cleared it, there was no issues whatsoever. It looked fine on the cyc. Also had a couple of focus issues. Those ones are going to take a little deeper diving. Probably going to be either motors or look at the bus connections and go from there. And then there was the one that wouldn't respond to DMX and had all the errors. That is just going to take some diving into. So that's your tech process. If you have this many fixtures, you want to make sure that they're all in the same firmware, that you check for any errors, and that you check all your lamp hours. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.